Hello everyone and welcome to this latest online panel discussion brought to you by Arc TV. Following the recent news that lighting manufacturers LITE and Meteor have entered into a partnership agreement, we're here today to talk a little bit about this new partnership and some of the landmark projects that the two brands have worked on. To do that, I'm delighted to be joined by Andrew Milestone, who's Director of Architectural Lighting at LITE, and Arjan Stevens, who's Regional Sales Manager at Meteor Lighting, alongside Lauren Blow, who's Senior Lighting Designer at Arup. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Afternoon.
So to start with, I think it'd be good if we could get just a very brief history of both LITE and Meteor. So Andrew, if you'd like to go first and just tell us a bit about LITE, please.
Okay, so yeah, LITE were formed in 2001, and 2008 became a value-added partner with Philips on the dynamic lighting side of things. So we've been working with them for 12 years, and that's grown into external architectural projects. And now we're starting to look towards more internal architectural projects, working with new partners with products that are differentiated in the market, and that we can sort of put forward to be sort of turnkey and iconic buildings.
Okay, great. And Arjan, if you could tell us a bit about Meteor, please.
Oh yeah, thank you. So we're an architectural lighting manufacturer that was founded in 2008 in City of Industry, California. So since our founding, we have focused on something that we call advanced high ceiling. So high ceiling projects with some great fixtures. And over the years, now we added some more architectural and decorative fixtures as well.
Okay, cool. So how did the partnership between the two brands come about? And if you could share a bit of detail about what this will involve for both LITE and Meteor going forward.
Yeah, as I say, we're sort of developed as a company, and the lockdowns actually gave us a chance to look at other brands that we can then bring into the UK. I think historically American brands have sort of struggled in the UK just through design and the different logistics and legal side of things for both sides of the pond, as it were. And with the Meteor brand, we saw something that we thought that would fit in very much into what we can offer as an application and support for the light design community.
Correct. So, from our side, we're very technology focused. So giving some inspiration and art to our customers. And because we integrated a lot of that technology and working on some high profile projects lately, in the last couple of years, we got a lot more traction internationally. Now, we were really planning to go to Light and Build and look at some international partners. And this is where really LITE showed up. And this is really the start of where we start to reach out to them and them to us to see how we can go into a partnership.
Okay, cool. So is this part of, I know Meteor was started in America, is this part of a move to sort of expand into the rest of the world?
Correct, yes. So that's why we said, lately we've noticed a lot more people coming to us, a lot more international projects that we've been working on. And, doing that is really, seeking some partners that can help us expand as well. So before we did a couple of projects in Dubai. So the Expo 2020 is one of those big projects that we worked on that really made us look outward as well. And, Light and Build was the perfect jumping platform for that. But unfortunately, we couldn't go. But we have some partners that stand out, and we wanted to keep talking. And the same was, I think, for LITE. And that's why we're here now.
Okay, cool. And Andrew, I understand that LITE work both in the architectural lighting market, but also in the entertainment sector as well. But the company is sort of moving more into the architectural lighting field. Is that right?
Yeah, it's we've always tried to work in an area where we could bring some value to projects and added skills. So not just product, but also installation and design in terms of controls and working with designers. So we can really bring the whole thing together. So that's what we've done, and increasingly that sort of side of controls and elements comes into the internal projects now, and then that's sort of where I say Meteor is certainly a very exciting company for us to be working with.
Sure, I was going to say, how will Meteor fit into this sort of offering that you hope to provide?
Well, very much their mindset and the way that they view their design of products. So it's very much designed for those sort of high-end large spaces, as we say. which increasingly are getting designed. So it's just a nice area to be able to offer these services into the lighting design community.
Sure. And speaking of the high-end projects, Lauren, I know you worked with LITE on the Royal Liver building in Liverpool. Could you tell us a little bit more about this project and how you got involved with it?
Yeah, so we were appointed by CBRE back in kind of February 2019, and their vision was to really highlight all of the historical features of the building and enliven the surrounding area, and that being the waterfront, which is very kind of quiet and quite dead at night time. So that was then when we got appointed to do the external lighting scheme for that.
Yeah, sure. So was it just on the Liver building itself, or was it on the whole waterfront area?
So it was just the Liver building. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And it's obviously like a really prestigious project and is certainly an icon within the city of Liverpool. So how did it feel for you to be working on a project such as this?
A lot of pressure, I would say, to get it right. There was, even as we were doing mock-ups with LITE, which we spent many kind of a night in Liverpool trialing the different light shows that we did, as well as commissioning the building. We had people out there photographing what we were doing and then putting it up on social media and the news, and it was good to see kind of that very early reaction, and it was all very positive. But yeah, there was a lot of pressure to get the scheme right and do the building and the people of Liverpool justice.
Yeah, for sure. So with it being a heritage site, did that make it more difficult for you guys in terms of like light placements and fittings and so on?
So our concept from the very beginning really wanted to look at where we could discreetly mount light fixtures. So we developed our concept and then took a step back and thought, right, okay, where can we really position the lights so that people on the ground level won't be able to see them, and they won't be obtrusive on the facades. So we managed to hide a lot of the lights, but on ground level, we put some lights within the large windows, which were an initial kind of planning, not concern, but it was something that they wanted to really see mocked up to see what it would look like. So that was where LITE did a cable route for us, which when the planning team came to have a look, they said, oh, when will you actually be putting the cabling in? And it was already there and they couldn't see it. So we were like, big tick in the box for that. And then we also had the same colour of the housing to match the window frame as well. So it really kind of blended in. But that was really the only challenging placement of light.
Yeah, sure. And so you mentioned that you worked with LITE on developing this exterior lighting. Why was it that you chose LITE as a company to work with?
So we had a 6-month turnaround, maybe a 7-month turnaround from us being appointed to do the concept to the big switch on. So we really wanted a full turnkey solution, and LITE also offered the products that gave us the quality of lighting that we really wanted. So there was a tender process and a selection process, but LITE met all of the criteria, and like I say, they were really, really helpful in all of the mock-up processes and being there when they went kind of above and beyond what they had to do in terms of helping us get the right lit effect.
Yeah, sure. So Andrew, do you have anything that you'd like to add about this project? Were you involved in it personally? Or?
I was, yes. Yes. It was good fun to look back at that, but it was pressurized because you've got a very iconic building that is in the middle of social media at all times. You probably just saw it when Liverpool won the league. That was the area that everybody goes to. It's a real heartland of the place. So and the more you get into, the more you learn the history of the whole building and about the live birds and Bertie and Bella and looking out to sea and looking at the city. So from that point, it was great. And I think the other thing I'd like to say is it's a team effort. If you're working on those sort of projects, you've got to all pull together because A, time, B, budget, and C, just practicalities of being able to work during in a working building. You know, so we used over 1,000 drill bits because of the actual materials that you're working with. So yeah, it was good. But yeah, it all came together really well, and we're really pleased with it. And glad that Lauren is as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how would you say, first Andrew and Laura, I suppose it applies to both of you, but how would you say this project ranks in terms of projects that you've worked on? Is this like the biggest or the most high profile, would you say?
I would say for me that this is the most high profile one that I've worked on. Yeah, definitely. Not the biggest, but the most high profile.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly up there. You know, we've done a few others, but in recent times, that's stand out.
Yeah, sure. So moving on to Meteor, Arjan, I know that Meteor as a company have worked on a number of high profile projects as well. Is there one in particular that you'd like to sort of talk about that you think stands out to you?
Well, you know, we definitely have a couple of, you know, fun ones as well. And I definitely, you know, after hearing the story here, I would definitely love to visit the one you guys just talked about. I think the one that really stands out for me is the Amazon Spheres project, which is part of the Amazon headquarters in downtown Seattle. Now, we used a Meteor fixture in that structure to light up over 25,000 plants in that living wall. So you can imagine this is a really fun project and something that we're still really proud of. Now, I hear a couple of things that Andrew was saying, like teamwork, right? So we got involved quite early on in the project. I think the project started in 2013, and in 2015, through our local agency, we got involved. We worked together with them, with MBBJ, the architect, and the Amazon team to fully understand the project needs. So going from that cooperation, those talks, we can know what they need on that project. So what kind of fixture do you need? What kind of power do you need? And we were able then to select through some calculations, working together to select our Tetris fixture, which is a modular fixture. So you can have a 4 module one, an 8 module one. And we selected the 4 module one, 280 watt at 26,000 lumens. Because of course you can imagine this land wall is 62 feet or 19 meters high. And then, you know, if you do the structure like this, you need to understand the structural realities of this building. So there's various levels our fixtures going to be installed, but we need to get the lighting to be very uniform. So they needed to have a higher degree of rotation. So we made a custom bracket for this project to get the uniform lighting everywhere we wanted it. Now, last year, I was actually fortunate enough to visit it again when it was finished. And so it finished in 2018. And it's just buzzing with Facebook employees, right? So they can bring that sort of botanical feeling to them to work and think differently. And if your fixtures are shooting up, down, left and right to get the light all across the wall, glare might be an issue. So we looked at that as well, and we installed glare shield baffles on our fixtures to get the light where it's needed. And then the last thing that we looked at is like, hey, when you have this kind of plants, I think they have over 200 species from different regions, 30 countries, and a lot of them tropical. So you need to have very high humidity. So we don't like humidity that much. Now, I think we've all been on vacation and go like, oh man, I wish it, you know, it could be back home. But, you know, for us, you know, 60% of humidity will be sort of acceptable. Now that's during the day in the building, but at night they turn it up to 80, 90%. Now then you get condensation. That means that you have some water. So our fixtures are fully IP65 rated. And we said, hey, let's go a little step further. So we gave it an architectural natatorium rating as well, so to make sure that through its lifetime, it also is corrosion free and fully insulated from anything in between. So again, working with our local partners, the architects and the Amazon team and the plant team, we're able to be part of, you know, some great projects.
Yeah, sure. I suppose with that one, because it's got this huge living wall, that must be quite a different sort of application to what you guys are used to.
Correct. So, going into any kind of application, we do projects, we do look at every project differently, we do customize our fixture. So, and I think for all of us, when you're in lighting, and especially on the manufacturer side, one day you're working on a church, the next day you're working on a pool, and then sometimes you have these kind of projects. And that, I think, what makes it really a lot of fun.
Sure, yeah. Okay, great. So now that the two brands are sort of working in partnership now, what would be the next step for both LITE and for Meteor moving forward?
Yeah, we've got a full marketing campaign that we've put together, and my partner will be promoted very shortly. And then really just to get it out there into the market as much as you can at the moment, obviously.
Sure.
More Zoom meetings maybe, but we're up to 7 staff now on the architectural sales team, so we're fully covering the whole country. And there's plenty of projects out there. It's not all doom and gloom. I've been in Liverpool, Swansea, and I'm in Coventry tomorrow with all new projects to look at. So yeah, it's going to be a busy time. We've just got to be careful, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah, so from our side, we're very excited to, bring our brand there, show what we have to offer, the wide range of products that we have to the UK market, as I think Andrew mentioned at the start, for a US brand to come in and, hopefully excite a lot of people with what we can offer. So we're going to be working with them, hosting probably some webinars for the time being. So 15-minute webinars, really, showing what we can do, very quick overview. And for me, in the future, I definitely hope to come back. I used to live in Portsmouth for a couple of months. So for me, just hopefully in the near future, come back to England, maybe visit Liverpool as well, and really bring the product out there.
Yeah. Well, Liverpool's a great city. I used to live not too far from there. So, and then you can see the impressive lighting on the live building as well.
Correct. I cannot wait. I've been sort of in the south, Southbourne, London, Portsmouth, more that area, but I'm definitely, really want to go around Manchester, everywhere else as well.
Sure. And Lauren, how are things for you at the moment? Have you got lots of things in the pipeline with Arup?
Yeah, so I'm working on Manchester Town Hall project at the moment. So that's still we're still going. That's still going ahead, and I'm still working on kind of the construction issue for that now. So that's keeping me busy. But it does seem like there is, like Andrew said, stuff in the pipeline. New opportunities keep on popping up. So yeah, it's looking more positive than a few months ago, I would say. Yeah.
So all bodes well for the future for all of you guys, I guess. Then.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I think that is pretty much all the questions that I had planned, unless there was anything in particular that you guys wanted to add or discuss.
I would say just that my only point is that I do think that the importance of lighting now in the current climate is really key. Like particularly with public spaces and how lots more outdoor spaces will be utilised. So having external lighting isn't a nice to have. I think it is more of an essential to get people out and about and to make sure that they can socially distance and socialise in our cities again.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I was in Liverpool last week, and the library building normally has 1,700 people in there. It's currently got 30. So this is how things just change, and yeah, you're going to be busy. But yeah, and also the living wall thing. Just it's the look of the place is very important, but also for the people inside there. That's
Yeah, it seems that living walls is a trend that's sort of getting more momentum at the moment. A lot of offices and workspaces are looking to implement these at the moment. So it's good that you guys are prepared for it, I guess.
Yeah, this is something we get more and more questions on, living walls. I think it's a big part of the well building standard that you see in big offices taking off as well. And some things that we're also looking more into is maybe UV lighting. I think especially with the ongoing crisis, people, not taking everything for granted, but also taking to, something that they don't see in their office. So this is all technology trends that we're, following quite a bit lately.
Sure, yeah. Excellent. Well, yes, as I say, I think that's everything that I had planned to ask you guys. So thanks very much for your time and for taking part in today's session. It's been really interesting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.